Good Friday morning. Sean Waite with Accelerated Global Connections, and I'm super excited because this morning I am pleased to bring you Jenny Mason. Now, Jenny Mason is somebody that we're going to have a lot of fun with today. She's bringing some great topics, but first things first, we are going to get into our presentation. I'm Sean Waite, Accelerated Global Connections Captain, Sean Waite with wesuccess.com. And what we do is we help people succeed, which coincides with exactly what Accelerated Global Connections does, right? We help you network and succeed. AGC Talks is the way that we bring into this Zoom world, right? Into this world where everybody can be connected and network together. AGC Talks is a way that we bring value from Accelerated Global Connections so that you can benefit from the network, from the knowledge of the network, from the experience of the network. AGC Talks is one of the ways we do that. And founded by Travis Sims. He's our CEO, he's our founder, and he's also the author of 2 best-selling books. So I want you to get out, take a look at these books because it's going to help you network better, make more money, serve more people, build your business. We ask you to play along. Are you put in the chat? Are you from, I'm here in Hastings, Minnesota, and I'm live. Are you watching in live? Are you watching in a replay? Where are you from? Play along, put your information or where you're coming from at. And also, we're going to be doing a Q&A session afterwards. We have over 2,000 people in our Facebook group. If you're not part of it, you are actually limiting yourself to how many eyes that you can get on your business and the network you can build. It's just fantastic, whether you want to just connect with people or gather information. And the fun part is we are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Vimeo, we're on Fire TV, we're on Roku, we're on all these different places that you're going to be able to see and experience what AGC has to offer. There's podcasts for everything, right? But if you want a podcast that is based on success, proven principles, and proven people for small business, for entrepreneur, for sales, whatever industry you're in, you need to check out the AGC Experience, which drops every Monday with Travis Sims and the guest that he brings on, who's going to bring you knowledge and information. Mailbox Power is our sponsor, and Bo Young at Mailbox Power. Mailbox Power, I use it. My clients use it. It is basically making sure that people are opening what you're sending them. Do you know that only 20% of emails get opened up? How many mailboxes get opened up? Physical mailboxes. If you send somebody a physical gift, how many people do you think actually open the mailbox and get to touch that and look at it? All of them. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want to be in mailboxes, not just inboxes. If you would like to be a sponsor, we have different platforms that you can also sponsor. It's going to get you in front of the thousands of people that we have in our group, the people who attend live, but also I think we're like near 100,000 replays on the different platforms we talked about. You get to get in front of these people on a regular basis. Just check out support@joinagc.com to find out more about the sponsorship opportunities. Now, people say, give up your coffee of $5 a day and you'll become a millionaire in a couple of years. No one's giving up their coffee. They're not giving up their Diet Coke. Jenny and I were just talking about, right? Whatever the liquid is that fuels you, you don't need to give it up because with AGC, you can build your business. It's only $1 a day. Seriously, $1 a day to be able to impact your business, impact other lives, and bring yourself into a network that is going to help you grow. We want to send a big thank you out to our regional partners. I'm one of them, obviously. Becky Speed and Dustin Speed, the Speed team, man. I mean, high speed team. They're fantastic. We've got Josh, we've got Mark, we've got Jake, Amy, Mark Delfini, Denarius, and I didn't leave them for the end for any other purpose but to say, put the punctuation, the exclamation point on this, Les Hill. So check us out. We have all these different things going on that you can be part of that are going to be convenient to where you're at. In-person events, online events, all of these different things that you're going to be able to participate in as part of Accelerated Global Connections Networking. Jenny Mason. I first came across Jenny's content online, like most of us do, right? We're out there. She's with Movement Mortgage, and she's in the mortgage in real estate field, which I'm very much involved in. And the stuff she puts out, the things that she shares, it's a tough world out there. And especially if you've been watching what's going on in real estate, it's a really tough world out there, right? With mortgage and real estate. And what drew me in is that, even I'll even say it this way. She's like a lighthouse almost, right? It's dark. It's foggy. It's gloomy some days especially when you're online. But all of a sudden, her content came across. I was like, wow, that's cool. And then I started following. And she was like a light in the darkness that attracts so many of us because she brings hope. And the content she shares and the things she shares, it's just incredible. And I'm actually going to read her bio here real quick. And there we go. Jenny Mason is a connector coach. She's a hope dealer. She's an igniter, good finder, servant leading, relationship building, people encouraging, passion igniting, light bringing, value adding, market growing, recruiting leader. Now, she's a leader. We all know that there are bosses out there. There are people who manage. There are people who make, hey, this is how business has got to be. But we're critically short on leaders, both in business and in the world in general. And Jenny, she's a leader in the best sense of the way. She wants everybody to succeed. She brings everybody up. It's not just the people she works with, but she wants to lift everybody up because that is just who she is. So I'm going to bring Jenny on here. And we're going to be of equal size here. Welcome, Jenny. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm pretty excited today because of what I know of you and our conversations and the stuff we share online. Kind of tell me about, I love your intro. I love your bio. How did you tell me a little bit about that? What are those words? Why are they strung together in the way they are? And what do they imply?
Well, that is actually what our talk is on today, how that came about. So when I share on our change is inevitable, but growth is optional. That's where all that came from. So
that is so fantastic. And gosh, what a great segue, right? I didn't even realize I was stepping into it, but there we go.
And the funny thing is that, and just have to tell you what you just said about being a lighthouse is what I hope when I leave that I will said about me. And in my office, you can see a lot of ocean things. And I hope to be a lighthouse because it is. There's a lot of people being pounded with the waves of adversity in this life. And a lighthouse leads them out of the dark. And that's what I hope to do. So,
well, I tell you, I know personally that you make an impact on me, and I share a lot of your thoughts and what you share, with my clients and with people I know. And I appreciate the heck out of you. So thank you. I'm so blessed that I stumbled across you. We've got some people joining us this morning. Want to do some shout outs. Tia, she says, good morning, Jenny and Sean. Good morning, hi. Tia. She's live from her camper.
All right.
She's living the Minnesota life already. Good for you. It's starting to finally warm up here. So, and then I always like to call him our Grand Poobah, Travis Sims. He's live from Cottage Grove, right up the road from me. He says, hi, Tia. Welcome to the AGC. Oh, where'd he go? Okay, it just moved a little. Welcome to the AGC virtual stage, Jenny Mason, Travis says.
Thank you.
Carrie Sweet, who is a friend of mine and also one of my clients, says, good morning. You ready to dive in, Jenny?
I'm ready.
All right, I am going to remove me, and you are going to be our focal point. So, everybody, Jenny Mason.
Good morning, everybody. My talk this morning is on change is inevitable, but growth is optional. If we don't grow, we exist, but we're not fully living. And in this crazy world we're living in, change, I guarantee you, It's inevitable. But the question is, are you going to grow? Because it's optional. You have a choice. And sometimes change can be unpleasant, unwelcomed, downright hard. This in-between state of letting go of what we've known to allow for something new to emerge can be quite frightening. So we have to not drown in the seas of woe is me. We have to fight, and we have to fight to not shrink back from the monsters of fear. If we take our focus, though, off of the waves, the fears, ourselves, change truly will be transformational. And so often, change, it's necessary. It's a catalyst for us to grow. Unanticipated events have a way of getting us out of our comfort zone, don't they? And about 3 years ago, in my family, we had an unanticipated event. My dad had a quadruple bypass, and that spurred my daughter to pursue her calling to be a nurse. She'd known it since she was a little girl, but she'd let fears hold her back. She felt, I can't do that. But it shook her enough to say, I can. This is what I was called to do. And so my husband was like, well, she's not going to go by herself. We're not going to just feed her out to the wolves and let her get in debt. So we'll go with her. And man, I bucked. I thought, are you kidding me? I lived in a mountain paradise. I had Forest Service behind me, got on my four-wheeler, escaped. Insane. So to go to a city, we didn't know where we were going to live. That first month we stayed in hotels. So you got to imagine kids, dog, and school's about to start. And I found myself freaking out. I was focusing on the waves. I was focusing on all the negativity. And I definitely was beginning to sink in the seas of woes me. And I was like a fish out of water. I was floundering around and questions started to rise. I felt like I was missing something. I wasn't fulfilled. What was my purpose? So I started asking God, what gift do I have? Because I felt, I really didn't have one. I didn't have the gift of teaching or ministry. I wasn't a big leader, So I started asking myself, well, what really sets my soul on fire? What do I really like to do? And I realized I love encouraging others in this race we call life, because it's hard. And there's not always going to be those people out there. You feel like you're alone. So I felt, but how am I going to do that? So then the wells, the what ifs started rolling in, the waves excuses. I thought, I'm not in social media. I don't have a title. I don't have followers. I'm not famous. And then the what ifs started rolling in, were even bigger. What if people don't like me? What if they think I'm stupid? What if? And I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm in a cyclone and I'm going to stay stuck here unless I take action. And so I put myself out there and I took action. I got on Facebook, just a few connections, just under 1,000 on LinkedIn, barely any on Instagram. And I made a commitment that I would post something positive, encouraging, inspiring, or hope-filled, motivational, or thought-provoking every single day, whether I felt like it or not. And believe me, there are days that the things I put out there are for myself, just as much as everybody else, because it's a fight. And it's hard putting myself out there because we're programmed to believe we're something if we have all these followers. Oh, you got how many shares? Oh, how many likes? And you're just waiting to hear that endorphin releasing ping that, oh, I got a like, let's go check it. And then I realized again, it's about me. It's not about others. And I was making it focused on me. So I continued putting myself out there, sharing my heart, my mind, and I've continued doing that pretty much every day for the last 3 years. Do I have a bazillion followers, likes, shares? No. But I remind myself it's not about popularity. It's not about shares or likes. It's bigger than me. And if I can inspire, motivate, or help just one person, it's worth it. And I can't tell you how fulfilling it is when I get a message from somebody across the country that I've never met that says, because of you, I was able to hold my head above the water. I was no longer sinking. That is so much more rewarding than winning any game I've won, any sales contest, being number one. It's truly amazing when you're living for a purpose bigger than you are. Was the whole change thing easy? Absolutely not. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Seeing that you're actually making a difference fuels the flames to keep going. And it's truly fulfilling to do that. And I found the more I continually keep focusing on others, the more I grow. So when we look for the opportunity and believe something good's going to come from it, it's truly freeing and transformational. When COVID hit, our landlord decided he wanted his house back. And you know what? I didn't freak out. Even though rent prices had gone crazily insane, my daughter still has 2 years left of school. So what are we going to do? So looked and didn't freak out. And when we had 1 week left and still no place to go, I still hadn't freaked out. And why? Because I switched my focus from the waves to the one who provides, from being afraid to being excited to see what door was going to open. And you know what? 6 days before we had to be out, we found the perfect house for my family. And I tell you what, in the last 3 years, I have had transformational growth mentally and spiritually. And the igniter was change. People who successfully navigate change have positive beliefs. They fully believe change will bring something positive into their lives. Something exciting is waiting on the other side of this transition. It's truly how you perceive things. Changing fear into an excitement. You welcome it. What you focus on grows. If we focus on me, our feelings, this stinks, we're going to buck off, we most likely are going to. And we're going to drown in the seas of woes me. But if we keep telling ourselves something good is happening, something good is coming, believing that there is an answer, and there is always an answer, it will keep you in the game. Our bodies, they don't know the difference between excitement and fear. You get butterflies and we begin to sweat. So by quickly turning that thought of fear into excitement, your whole outlook changes, and most often the outcome. I remember even living over in the mountain paradise, and I hated driving on slick roads. I would freak out. I would just think, I'm just going to stay home. I'm not going. But once I started utilizing that of thinking, I'm excited to go to Jackson. I'm excited to go to lunch with my daughter. I'm excited. My hands, yeah, they still sweat. But you know what? I was excited. So I felt great instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. So putting positive action into negative emotion, no matter how small or how little you think that action is, it will change the emotion. Even if it's just getting up when the alarm clock goes off instead of hitting snooze, even if it's just making your bed, even if it's just one little thing, consistency compounds. And that is the key. So when we look back at almost every time change came, it brought something positive into our lives. We may not see it or feel it at the time, but it does eventually. And finding your purpose, it tends to sit in the intersection between what we care about and where we can contribute most to helping others. Connect to something that ignites a spark of emotion in you and relentlessly pursue what sets your soul on fire. So I leave you with this. I encourage you, if change comes, or if you're not feeling fulfilled, take the focus off the waves, the fears, yourself, or whatever is keeping you in the comfort zone, whatever is keeping you on that couch, and ask yourself, how can I help someone? How can I serve them? How can I encourage them? How can I bring values to others? Because you, yes, you are uniquely qualified to serve others. That is our purpose here. And change can be the compass to finding your purpose. And the key for a compass to be effective is to always take that next step. And when you do, you will find true success. You'll find significance. And once you've tasted significance, success, my friend, never tastes the same. So change is inevitable. Growth is optional. I hope you choose to grow. I'm rooting for you.
Okay. Wow. You know, a lot of this, I took a lot of notes, Jenny. Thank you for thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing what you just did. And you know, I'm a big sap, right? When it comes to helping people and success and combining and overlaying, how I can help those around me and my family and meet my goals, and by helping them meet their goals. The stuff you put out there, I mean, and just you so succinctly just did this presentation just so succinctly brought together all the things I've seen you put out there. You know, and I guess the first couple of things here is how you said it's not about me. And one of the things I learned before is, like you said, about putting yourself out there, and we're scared or we're self-conscious or whatever, but changing the parameter, the way you look at it, like you mentioned about, don't do it because it's, you know, helping or hurting you. If you don't put it out there, and that one person even, or that group who needs to hear it doesn't hear it because you're uniquely able to present that, that's actually pretty selfish to worry about how you feel or look. I mean, that's what I'm hearing you say. Is that kind of?
Yep, exactly. And I battle that every day. You know, sometimes you'll look at a post and you think, oh my goodness, you know, I had no likes. Why do I even do this? Why do I even bother? You know, because this is just, this other person put out something way different. They had a bazillion likes. And so then you find yourself in that comparison that is truly a thief of joy. It's a killer. So you can't do that. You have to focus on your gifts because there's someone that needs it. And I've realized that there's probably people that have seen it that I didn't know about. And then once in a while, I'll get somebody that'll send a message. That's exactly what I needed today to fight. So that's what it was about. But it's easy to get caught up on ourselves and how we feel. It's even like this morning, I was thinking, oh my gosh, nitpicking myself. And I was like, this isn't about me. Maybe somebody's going to listen to this that really needed to hear that. So that's what if you focus truly, and it's a fight. It's not, yeah, I got this. I focus on everybody else but me. No, it's a minute by minute sometimes where you really have to remember. And when you do that, when you really do begin to put it on others, that change becomes an amazing thing. It's kind of like that butterfly that comes out of the cocoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
The catharsis of it. The chrysalis, right? I think that's what the term is. So.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some people chiming in. Tia says, I love this, Jenny.
Thank you.
Obviously, we all do, right? It's just such great stuff. Travis says, comfortable creates coasting. There's only one way to coast, and that's going downhill. That is so true, right? Yeah. I mean, like they always say, the only thing that goes along with the flow is a dead fish.
True.
Right? So, Carrie, thank you. That was powerful. I'm growing. Carrie, you are growing. You are definitely growing. Because change, like you said, it happens. It's embracing and going with it. One of the other notes I made is how you talked about excitement instead of fear, right? Having that same, your pulse is racing, you might be sweating, whatever. I really loved how you reframed that. Is there a tool that you have found, or how do you reframe when you're feeling fear? How do you switch it?
I immediately, as soon as what I've realized, those thoughts, if you don't take them captive, they're going to take you captive. So they are going to imprison you. So you have to choose in your mind as soon as it comes, and that becomes a habit. It's like everything else in life. You know, it's a muscle that you work. Our brains are a muscle, actually just as big as your biceps. We should be working our brains. But we're programmed to kind of protect ourselves. So that fear always comes up, and it's to protect us so we don't go fall off the edge of a cliff or do something silly. But at the same time, that mechanism can cause us to stay in comfort because we're safe. It feels good. It's cozy. It's warm, you know. But as soon as that comes, and believe me, it happens continually. Even this morning, it was like, why did I say I would do this? Oh, my goodness. And it was like, no, wait, I'm excited. I am so excited. Whether I really believed it or not, by speaking that continually, I got excited.
And you made it happen that way.
So,
you know, I think I remember reading, I don't know if you've ever heard this, that when you have a thought, you have about 5 seconds that once you have that thought to change it before it prompts your body into action. I think Mel Robbins might have said that, you know. But you're just so right. You have the thought, and just if you can change it and what the meaning is and reframe it before everything else catches up, it's so powerful. Consistency compounds. It's interesting. I did a video a little while ago about how consistency, the hockey stick graph, right?
Yep.
Where if you're consistent and all of a sudden, boom, all of a sudden starts compounding that whole overnight success, of 20 years.
Yeah.
With you being a recruiter, I got to imagine when you're talking with people and you're showing them, what the possibilities are with moving to your company, how do you help facilitate them? Is there certain tools that you help them with when it comes to the change part? Because when we're changing, whether it's in personal life or business, is there certain tools that you rely on to help others?
I take it back to the thing that you realize that you're a value, not a vendor. And again, you just realize what is best for them. Is this change what's best for them? And then you point out those factors and you let them come to that. So me, I'm not typical recruiter. I think some of it's kind of ye. So I am a relationship builder. And that's why I say that, because I really believe you didn't ask your wife to marry you on the first date. You got to know her. The baseball guy doesn't get recruited the first time the recruiter watches him on the field, and I operate the same way. I kind of see what that person's passionate about. What's their why? Is it a good fit? Maybe we're not. And so I think when people do that, sometimes, especially when we're in sales, I've been in sales for 32 years. And so persistency and consistency are the key to whatever you're doing. But what I also realized at a young age was, and that was from watching my dad turn a town that was predominantly Pepsi to Coke. And he did that by building relationships. He did not do it by Coke's the best. By golly, Coke's it. Yeah, it is. But that's not the way he led. You know what I mean? He led by providing customer service, building relationships. So they knew, man, if I do go through a change, if I do need something, he's going to be there. So I want to be that person in this industry that if you're going through it, I trust Jenny, because you know what? She cares about me.
That is, well, and it's all about relationships, right? And that's, with accelerated global connections, networking, I mean, that's what, we talk, we preach, we share, we live is the building of relationships, right? No one wants to be sold to. People love to buy, right? But they don't want to be sold to. They don't want to shove down their throats. You got to build those relationships. And that's one of the great things, with accelerated global connections is that, I can name five other coaches in our organization, Jason Jones, Les, Joshua Peters, there's different ones for different people. And like you said, the fit, while it might just not be right for everybody, but there's different options. And I love how you say that is basically the mentality of, if I go there to serve, I'm going to find the people that it is a fit for. And the rest, I just blessed with some time and some energy and some good thoughts. And I think that's awesome. If there's anybody, any questions anybody has, we're going to be wrapping up here in a minute. The other thing you brought out that I made a note of is the what ifs, right? The what ifs are, I talk to clients all the time and others, especially in the real estate, area with mortgage and real estate agents. And when we talk about like being on video or things like that, and they're like, oh, I don't want to be on video. I look terrible or this or I'm like, hey, guess what? What if you do this? And what if, what if you mess up? And what? Oh, so you're human and you're normal, right? And you'll get better. And in all honesty, when people tell me that, oh, I don't want to be on video or whatever, I'm like, either do I, but guess what? This is what I really look like. So when I sit across from you, you're getting the same thing, right? So I love how you talked about what ifs. And is there anything that when a what if pops in your head, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what is it that you say? What is it that, you said you change that thought right away. Is there something particularly for what ifs that you go, well, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I think what if it does? What if it does work out? What if I do help one person? What if this is the greatest change and it's going to change my life forever? What if I end up being happier than I ever dreamed? What if I am fulfilled? Why not me? Why not now? You have to take that. It's just like can't. People always ask me, because I'm a peak performance coach, and I always focus on that word can't. I can't eat this. You're going to go eat that because that's all you're focused on. I can't do this. you're not gonna then. So you have to take those and switch them around for your benefit and realize it's like getting on video today. I was like, oh my gosh, for me, this getting on video is a huge reach. I'm great at writing words and putting it out there and staying behind the scenes. But then I was like, but what if I help one person today? What if it caused somebody to get up off of the couch? What if it caused them to grow? So then for me not to do it, I lost big time.
And then everybody you could have served also, right? Would have lost. So any parting words as we kind of finish up here?
No, thank you for the opportunity. And I encourage anybody, reach out anytime. I'm on social. Connect. I'm here. And I truly am rooting for you. So
thank you, Jenny. And like I said, thank you for the impact you've made on me and through me. Now to AGC and now to, the people we're connected to and to my clients and the stuff that you've shared, it trickles down, right? And for everybody out there listening and watching this, especially now with social media and basically the worldwide, who we can connect with and touch, you just don't know. You don't know if that's somebody's going to be like, okay, they come across your stuff on that day, and that's the day that instead of sitting on the couch eating bonbons, they go, you know what, I'm going for a walk, it's nice out. So thanks again, Jenny. I'm going to switch us to the mode of bringing on the slides, and we're going to finish it out. So Jenny's, if you don't mind, would you mind putting your whatever way you'd like to be contacted in the comments?
You bet.
And then people can reach out to you. All right, guys, here we go. Let's finish this up. All right, I make it look so seamless, don't I? All right, so Jenny Mason, thanks for being with us. Just had our Q&A. AGC Talks. We have upcoming AGC events in all these areas: Minnesota, Indiana, Iowa, California, Arizona, Missouri. All our live events are starting to ramp up. And there's been times where I've been at one of our live events where there is 200 people there. Okay. There is 50 people there. There's going to be different events that you're going to feel more comfortable at, but you're not going to know until you go. So join us at these live events we're having and meet people. The coolest thing I loved about AGC with the networking possibilities was the simple fact that not only were there, say there was 70 people in attendance, 35 of them would be members, would be my fellow AGC, peeps. But the other 35 would be guests. When I went to my first couple before I became a member of AGC, I met other guests and made connections. So not only was I building relationships with these 35 people who were part of AGC, but I was making connections at each different event with other people who weren't even in AGC yet, as I said, but I was able to connect with and build relationships with. I don't really know of too many other networking associations that allow you to be able to do that. And the beautiful thing is after 3 years, I still have those relationships, and I've done business with those people, and I've built friendships and relationships with them. So AGC is fantastic because literally, as someone who can work remotely from anywhere, I could go to 4 different events in different parts of the cities in Minnesota and meet different people. I didn't just meet the same 20 people every Friday. And of course, that serves a purpose as well. I'm not discounting that. But for me, it really gave me the flexibility to go out and meet literally hundreds of people a month that I could be a part of and be a tribe of and align with. Because as we all know, sometimes you're part of a group or you're with people, you might just not align. You can be friends with them, you can have relationships, but maybe their business and your business just don't align. That's what I love about Accelerated Global Connections is you can align with the people. Like I said, there's a bunch of us coaches. I serve I align with certain people. Les aligns with certain people. Joshua aligns with certain people. Jason Jones aligns with certain people. We all align with different people, but we have an abundance mindset, right? The abundance of our relationships and how we can help each other. And I love the fact that I can send people, and I have, to Joshua Peters, right? To be able to help them in a way that maybe I don't, or that I don't align with. So come check us out. Come join us. Come have some appetizers and a few beverages, and let's talk, because we're not a bunch of wallflowers. That's the other thing you'll notice, right? We're interacting. We're all there for the same purpose, which is to build relationships and get to know each other. But you're never going to feel like you're not part of the clique or the group. We're going to make sure that you feel comfortable. Now, we're also going to make sure you're interacting, because the purpose of a networking group, a networking organization, is to interact and build, take you out of your shell sometimes and get you in front of people, meeting people, because we're all there for the same reason. And that's the biggest thing that I am proud of being part of this organization, and the culture that Travis has really set up, is that get out. We're going to move. We're going to talk. We're going to meet people. We actually want, you meet 3 people at the event and set up the one-on-ones afterwards. Because if you meet people, but you don't follow up, we all know usually it doesn't go anywhere, right? So if you want to turbocharge your networking, if you want to build your network and meet more people, check us out. And your first visit is free. So heck, if nothing else, you get the appetizers, right? And you get to watch. It's great for people watching. So community network, global impact. Our name even says it, accelerated global connections. Our goal is to build a network where you can literally land in California, right? Say you're there for business. You can look up, oh, what's the AGC event going on there? You can drop in, because guess what? Your membership includes all of it, all of them, right? So if you're in Indiana, you can stop and see Mark, right? You can AGC event. If you're stopping over in Minnesota because you're flying across country and that's where your connecting flight is, and you got a day, you can come in and drop in and meet all of us, right? This is what's one of the funnest things. You don't have to pay a separate fee to do all these things. Community. It comes down to community. It comes down to the simple fact is that people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So you build that community, and you build that knowledge that you can be the connector. My biggest thing is being a connector. I want to make sure if you say I need this, that I can be the one that you think of and go, Sean will find somebody, or AGC will find somebody, and reach out. We like doing business with people we know, like, and trust. And with AGC, you can be aligned with those people. Did I mention it's only $1 a day? You can still have your Diet Coke, right? You can still have whatever it is you're having this morning. You can have your RPG coffee, which you should. You should check it out, of course. But you can have all these things and still afford to invest in your business and yourself, because it's only $1 a day. The return on investment is immeasurable. Thank you guys all for being here today. I'm going to leave you with that. And if there's anything we can ever be a service for, check out www.joinagc.com and have yourself a great weekend. Talk soon. Bye.